Alright guys, another video from Negro around me. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe when you come in. Oh boy guys, we got another video for you today. We're going to talk about rapper Lil Yachty and their Instagram thought, Seli.xo. Man, this guy was offering $100K per month for child support. And even the person writing the news articles said, that guy ain't got that much money to be offering $100,000K for child support.
Oh my God!
Now next we're going to be talking about Brittany Renner, the return of the Renner. Once again, trying to defend herself, not taking any accountability, comes up to the show with DJ Akademiks to tell her part of what went down with PJ Washignton. And then lastly, we're going to talk about Colin Kapernick and his new video on Netflix. It's actually good, guys. You guys should watch it on Netflix. Anyways, guys, let's get back to this. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk about rapper Lil Yachty. I don't know that much about this guy, Lil Yachty. Just another rapper. Once again, you know how the story goes. Rapper gets an Instagram thought pregnant. The Instagram model takes the baby, takes the man to child support. And as soon as it all goes through, he's in court. You know, child support, he gets hit with a high fee. And then he comes on social media to complain. You know, he got hit with all this child support. And now we gotta feel sorry for him. I can't believe this. I was with that girl for like 2 months. And now she's got the baby and she's hitting me with $100,000 child support per month. You know how it is. But anyways, it hasn't happened yet, but most likely that's what's going to happen. And probably a couple months from now, I'm probably going to do a video on how he's being taken to the cleaners by the Instagram thought. But let's talk about what's happening right now. So none of this marry before you carry. Out of nowhere, Lil Yachty is going out with an Instagram model. And before you know it, that Instagram model is pregnant. You know, taking pictures of herself being pregnant. If you go on her Instagram, you'll see none of her pictures have Lil Yachty in it. Interesting. If you want to know if the girl you're going out with actually considers you a boyfriend or a husband material, see if any of her social media tools have you and her together. That's not in the case in this one, Lil Yachty. I just checked her Instagram page. Solange or Sel.xo. And none of those pictures had Lil Yachty in it. So once again, this lady is gonna pull a Renner. Gonna get someone pregnant and run with the bag and hit it with child support and doesn't really need the guy. So Lil Yachty, he's playing games. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm gonna share my screen so you guys can see who we're talking about. Probably some of you guys don't know who it is. See these pictures? A few. So this is Lil Yachty for all you old people, your OGs that not in these, rap streets. This is Lil Yachty. And this is Solange, Instagram hot girl. I ain't gonna lie, she is hot. But he will be dropping that money when she sees her. So yeah, this would be her, Solange. She looking with something. She got, you can see from this picture. Oh, she does have the curves. I ain't gonna mad at you. So this is what happens. The situation that goes on. A lot of these people, a lot of these Instagram models are getting a lot of play from rap artists, entertainers, and this is how they get the bag. What they do is they get these men pregnant, leave them at the wayside, hit them with a child support. And what Lil Yachty, the dumb thing that he did that they point out in the article is that he was going to offer $100K per month in child support. That's something you do not do, especially when you do it publicly. Because what the judge will do is they'll pull up all those messages, even though you were talking and you were joking around with the girl. The judge is going to say, oh, $100K? Okay, let's go with that number and I put $100K and I will set his child support amount at that month. But what Lil Yachty doesn't know is that the life expectancy for a lot of these rappers in the rap game to stay on top, maybe you get 2 albums. And what are you going to do after that? A lot of them end up broke.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Exactly. You played yourself with $100K. They're going to take that and make you pay. They're going to hold you up to that word. And even the person writing the article said, we already know Lil Yachty ain't got $100K to be giving every month. So that brother needs to stop playing, man. He needs to stop playing. Stop the cap.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
Yeah, he better retract that $100K. Because that's what they'll do. They'll take that number and they'll slap it on. Because the more they can get for child support, the more these lawyers and judges will get in their coffers. Even though you only made 2 albums and after the 2 albums you end up broke, they will still be coming at you and make you pay all that money. And then you have to go back for an adjustment. And what's that? You have to wait another year or 2 before you do the adjustment. And then before you know it, a couple months from now, Lil Yachty, he's going to come on social media, just like PJ Washignton and Brittany Renner, and start complaining that, this child support is all crazy. This is another trap. But anyway, let's go to Brittany Renner. She's the one that started all this new norm. She's the one that started this Instagram thought and running with the bad. So now Brittany Renner is meeting with DJ Akademiks. And DJ Akademiks, he's really holding her to the fire. She was asking DJ Akademiks was asking Brittany Renner why you did that to our boy PJ Washignton. Take him out to the cleaners. As soon as you were pregnant, you got rid of him, you moved out, and then you got him out here, begging for him to see his kid. You know how it is. PJ Washignton would be like, oh, man. Brittany, why you do this to me? I want to see my kid. You took my kid and you ran away with her, and now I can't see her. Why am I paying all this money and I can't see my own baby? And Brittany Renner, she didn't really care. Throughout the whole interview with DJ Akademiks, like, wow, it was his fault for hitting me raw, dog. I already told him that, I just like to take them back, get pregnant, and take them out and take them to the cleaner. I already warned him that's what I do. I'm an Instagram thought. So the whole time, Brittany Renner spent blaming PJ Washignton for getting her pregnant and making him the bad guy. And then he's going to blame it on some fight why you can't see the child. But then still play child support. That's what a lot of guys don't understand is why when they pay child support, they still got to fight for visitations. And that's what the problem we got here with PJ Washignton. And a lot of people are not learning from his lesson. Lil Yachty, he's not learning from PJ Washignton's problem he's got now with these Instagram thotties. We're just out here for the bag, and they're not really here for you. They're just waiting to get pregnant, and then they bounce. But anyways, I got enough of this buffoonery. Let's go to the next topic I got here about Colin Kapernick. Now, I don't really watch football too much, but Colin Kaepernick has been on the radar for the last couple of years, especially with the Black Lives Matter protesting, where he didn't want to stand for the national anthem. He took a kneel, and a lot of different athletes followed him, and he was chastised and punished for this. They thought he was unpatriotic for this display of kneeling while doing the national anthem. And they even got it kicked out of the football game for this. And you know what they did? What they can't get at you, they always send you some boot-licking, butt-licking, band dancing Negro at you. So they got Jay-Z somehow to chastise Colin Kaepernick for his actions. But lo and behold, a year or two later, when the Black Lives Matter really started taking movement, and a lot of people were saying that Colin Kaepernick is right, Jay-Z had to come back and apologize. He really had to, There was nothing he could do. Even Jay-Z had to apologize that what he did was wrong for chastising, for taking a stand. So now, you got Colin Kaepernick with his own Netflix video. If you haven't seen it, it's a great video. It talks about his life. And this one is different from usual stories that you'll hear from, being a person of color and living in America. This situation, he was a person of color and he was also adopted. So he had two struggles to really fight with. To have his own identity, identify his identity in terms of his Latino Colombian background, and also dealing with not knowing who his real parents were. At least if you had one parent, you could cling on to one person and learn the heritage. But all he had to go with was he was from Colombia. Now in this video, his whole video, he talks about him struggling because he was adopted by a white family, and the white family, I guess they kind of, in his words, he said that they ignored it. They ignored the issue of racism. They always told him or gave him the appearance that he was a white, but he could tell by his hair and his tone that he was different. And he uses the example that when he's with his family, people consider him white. But when he's not with his family, people are treating him as a Latino. And what his situation is when he goes to the hotel and he notices how when all the kids are misbehaving and horsing around in the lobby, he's the one that's pointed out, that's targeted, because he's in the neighborhood and everybody in the lobby is all white and he's the only person of color. And he was wondering, why is he the one being targeted and told to stop? And he's the one taken away from the lobby to be punished, but none of his friends were. So even though his family ignored the issue, he could tell that he was different. And it wasn't until he was 19 that his white parents told him that he was not white and he was Colombian. So all this time, he had clues like the curly hair, but the family would not tell him, and they would just remind him that he's white and just have a few characteristics and just to ignore it. But he knew he was different. And in the video, he describes all of this, how this coming of age. And halfway through the story, the mother starts becoming a supportive and says that he's asking a lot of questions. So let's go ahead and peek out his curiosity. So they take him to the barber shop, the black barber shop, and that's where he learns a lot about his culture and his first contact with the Afro-Latino culture. And also, getting your hair braided for the first time, and then also meeting other Afro-Latinos, because where he was living in a mostly white town. There was like no other black people in that town, so he almost felt like he was at home. And then when they brought him food, and he said, the mother asked, "Don't you need some salt and pepper?" And Colin Kapernick said, "No, I don't need no salt and pepper." "Oh, you should have the salt and pepper on the side just in case, because whenever I cook," well, this is the white mother was talking, that whenever I cook, Colin always likes to add salt and pepper. And Colin responds and says, "No, it's well seasoned. I don't need this from." So the mother realizes that she can no longer escape from this race issue. So she tries to be as supportive as she can be. And another instance where she wasn't so supportive is when Colin Kaepernick was having the last year dance, the prom dance. And the parents were pushing for him to take a white girlfriend to the party. But he had his eyes set on this chocolate girl. She looked real nice. I don't know can't remember what the actress name is, but Colin was set on taking the sister out. So he went ahead and he spoke to the theater. They were hanging out. And he took her out. And that was another experience with getting to know his color. And now he really enjoys it. So eventually at 19, they had to tell him that he wasn't white. And that was the whole point of his story, is that there's no education for these parents when they adopt multi-race children. And it's something I noticed from the article, is that they pointed out that the adoption fees is higher for white children than it is for black children. And back then, when they were adopting, race wasn't a factor when they were selecting the children. So when Colin Kaepernick's family finally received Colin, they didn't know if it was black or white. They were just happy that they had a child to adopt. But now, race, as Colin Kaepernick points out, that is very important. And they should make it an option when it comes to adopting. And also, there should be classes to educate white families and children of color. And he pointed out that this occurs more often than you think. There's a lot of white families that are adopting children of color. And they should be given this education of how to bring it up. But it's great that he put it in this video, and this video was well done. This would be a video I would give to anybody adopting a child that is not of your racial background. So if you guys should go and see the video. It's a great video. That there's no such thing as a colorblind ideology. Race is very important. And he only points out in the video is that when children who are adopted from a different race and they're not, I guess the family are not taught, they found a correlation that suicide is 4 times higher in children adopted by parents that are of a different race. So Colin Kaepernick, he recommends that all these parents should actually take education courses on this. And I believe his video is very good. It's a very good education class. If you guys should watch it on Netflix. It's very well done. And it goes throughout his whole life from infancy all the way up to the time he becomes a pro athlete. And eventually he writes a note to his younger self. Oh, spoiler alert. He writes a note to his younger self of what he learned throughout the whole life up to his pro. So, yes. One people did have a criticism about the video was that when he compared the football recruitment to a slavery auction, okay, he can do that, but from what I can see is it's not only black people that are on this level of scrutiny and examination when they're going to play for a pro game, because they want to make sure that you're a great player. So that's why they're looking at how fast you run, how high you jump, and any other requirements that they're looking for. They're not just doing it for only the black people that want to play football. They've been doing it for everybody. Even the whites were examined the same way. So for him to point out and say that it's like almost like a slavery auction block when they look at these athletes, the issue is just that a lot of the pro athletes doing football, most of them are blacks. So to him, when he was coming in, that's what it would look like. But 20 years ago, it was the same level of scrutiny for anybody that want to enter the pro. So I wouldn't call it that. Other than that, the rest of the movie was great. It was a great watch. So anyway, guys, that was my critique of his video. You have anything else to say? Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. There's another video for Niggeronomy. Thank you, and bye-bye.